I've always enjoyed Ben Affleck's films, be it Gone Baby Gone or The Town or my personal favorite Argo. I think he's a terrific director and always keep looking forward to what he's doing next. His latest film, Air, tells the story of the deal that took place between basketball legend Michael Jordan and Nike back in the 1980s and how it led to the creation of the Air Jordan shoes. Now, let me make something clear. I have no interest in shoes whatsoever. Sure, I wear them, but I am not keen in knowing their history or what kind of shoes I'm wearing. I just wear them. And when it comes to basketball, I have not really seen a single match of basketball in my entire life. All I knew walking into the film was the fact that Michael Jordan is considered to be one of the greatest players in the sport and certain rules of the sport. I think that's about all I knew walking into Air. And I am shocked and surprised to say that Air is phenomenal. This is an incredible film that had me hooked from its first scene to the end. So I think Air falls into that category of films. It's something like Moneyball. So when you look at Moneyball, it's not very much about baseball. It's about this baseball manager called Billy Bean who incorporates a computer algorithm to select undervalued players in such a way that their chances of success increase. That's what Moneyball was about. It was a film that explored the business side of the sport rather than the sport itself. I think that's exactly the category that Air falls in. You need not know anything about shoes. You need not know anything about the sport of basketball or even the life of Michael Jordan to enjoy the film for what it is. It is a business oriented drama that talks about these deals, about the budgets allocated for a certain deal. It talks about marketing, it talks about management, about all of those things. And I really found that fascinating because this is a film that is completely driven by dialogue. And if you don't have well written dialogue for a film like this, then it's just gonna fall apart. It is the glue that's literally holding the film together, and the dialogue is fantastic. It's extremely well written and always engages you. I really like the no nonsense approach that the dialogue had. There is not a single scene that feels like an excess, there's not a single scene that feels like it's just an afterthought. Every scene makes sense. Every scene starts exactly where it needs to start and ends exactly where it needs to end. There is like no unnecessary sequences or words of dialogues. Everything is packed together so well. And this film is extremely funny. I found it hilarious at times, and all of these jokes are not like throwaway lines of dialogue. They are properly incorporated into the series of events, and I thought that was just very well done. Another thing that really needs to be mentioned and applauded is the direction by Ben Affleck. Look, Ben Affleck has already proven himself to be a great director. I don't need to tell you that, but he manages to take these conversations that people are having on screen, and there are a lot of conversations. It's basically a film that's filled with conversations top to bottom and manages to make them not just interesting but also energetic and thrilling. The stakes are always high and you genuinely want these people to win. You want them to go ahead with the deal. And one interesting thing is usually what happens in these films that are based on true stories is that they have this disadvantage that you already know what's going to happen. I mean, of course, I never read the story of the deal between Nike and Michael Jordan, but I know for a fact that Air Jordans exist, which means that the deal must have happened. Only a few filmmakers are capable of taking the audiences on a journey where we as audiences don't care about the outcome. We care about the journey, and that's exactly what Air is about. Even though you know exactly what's going to happen in the end, you're still interested and invested in the story and all of the behind the scenes stuff that you see in the film. You're extremely engaged regardless of you knowing exactly what's going to happen. And it really takes a skillful director to actually pull that off, and I think Ben Affleck did a great job. Let's talk about the acting, because this movie's cast is just amazing. So you have Matt Damon playing the lead character who's kind of pushing everything. He's taking risks. He wants this deal to get through. He really has this passion for what he's doing, and he's always pushing things. He's always trying to get things done and taking the risks necessary. And these kind of characters in movies like this, at least I find them to be the the most endearing personalities, and I think Matt Damon just captures that so well. I mean, he's always been a charming and likable presence in everything he's been in. I just was behind him every single scene, and I really cared for his character. I wanted him to achieve what he wanted to do. So that's a great thing. Matt Damon is just great in the film. You also have Chris Tucker. I mean, it's been such a long time since Chris Tucker has been in a film, and he's hilarious in this movie. He's very funny, but again, great performance from him. I really wish to see Chris Tucker more in films because he's such a great actor. Always enjoy Jason Bateman, and Jason Bateman was really, really good in the film. But again, a scene stealer has to be Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck not just wonderfully directed the film, but also plays a character that is a scene stealer. I mean, every scene this guy is in, he just steals the show. He plays the character of Phil Knight, who is the original creator and founder of Nike. And the way he plays Phil Knight is so entertaining to watch, and there's just so much about that character that's just fun. It's just a fun character that pops in every now and then, and it's very entertaining to watch. I thought he pulled that role off very well. Viola Davis plays Michael Jordan's mother in the film, and she is fantastic. Viola Davis has always been a phenomenal actress, and she just pulls it off again. She's terrific in that role. Every single actor in the film gives a great performance. Every single actor. And all these characters are written so well, in the sense that there's not a specific subplot that kind of fleshes out these characters, but these characters are developed as the story keeps going. There are these certain personalities or traits that you associate with them, and that's what makes them so likable and charming and enjoyable to watch. And I found that really interesting. It does not disrupt the flow of the events of the film, but at the same time also builds character. That was great. What else is left for me to say about the film? I just loved almost everything about the film. I think it's really perfect in what it's trying to do. It's a film that's trying to explore this one event that took place in the 1980s, this deal between Nike and Michael Jordan, and I genuinely thought there was not a single thing they could have changed in the film. Everything they did was perfect. Like, this is exactly how you tell a story like this. It's appealing not just to the people who know the source materials, appealing not just to the people who understand basketball or understand how the shoe business works. It is a film that's appealing to every single person in the audience. It's a film that is inspiring, it is rousing, and it's just one of those movies that when it ends, you have this high feeling. You have this feeling in your heart that you watch something that genuinely inspired you. And it's often very moving because it's also a film about these people putting everything on the line to just get this done. And I don't know, if that isn't inspiring, what is? I just genuinely thought this was a great, great, great film that's based on a true story. It's more about the business aspect, it's more about the marketing, it's more about the creation of a product. It explores all of that extremely well, and I was just fascinated by it from the first scene to the end. It was extremely engaging, I was thoroughly entertained, and I just have to say this might just be Ben Affleck's best film. With all of that said, I am going to give Air a 4.5 out of 5. So that was my take on Air. So please, you tell me down in the comments what you guys thought about the film. I'd be very interested to know your takes. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me until this point in the video. If you did that, then you would have found something interesting about it. So please do consider giving this video a like. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. It pushes my video so that, other people can discover it. So consider subscribing to the channel, share it with your friends and families and whoever's interested in movies. Keep enjoying films, and I'll see you again.